Hey y'all, it's me again, the Money Waster, back at it again, wasting more money. Today's episode is going to be Alchemy 50. I was also going to touch on an issue dealing with the personal deleter talisman, and by the personal deleter I mean the backpack, because it used to be able to wipe your items, and it worked a little like this. As you can see, if I just go ahead and put some items in here and exit out of it, they are absolutely gone, completely destroyed, obliterated, probably halfway across the universe in some wormhole traveling to some distant planet with aliens on it. I don't know where they went, but they're gone. And also, if you opened a backpack in the bottom left corner of your ender chest, it would just kick you from the game. I really don't know why in the world this happened, but it did, and now it's fixed, so don't worry about it. Anyways, so why exactly did I get Alchemy 50? Well, long story short, I did it for the max skill and 24-hour god potions, even though that latter one really wasn't worth it, and I'm actually going to explain why this time. So the Bartender's Brewery update was dropped way too long ago and added tier 5 revs, which everyone just literally one-taps, and an RNGesus meter that gives you an extra shitty rune every couple slayers you do. However, it also changed some things about the god potion, which means that 30 Virus probably woke up that morning with some real stiff morning wood, after realizing the god potion changed. Well, as for the changes themselves, they're honestly more of a buff than a nerf in my personal opinion. So I'm sorry, 30 Virus, they're not 10 million coins yet. Anyway, so let's just go over what changed. First off, god potions are now only 12 hours as their base duration, and they scale linearly with your alchemy level. Also, they made god pots 3/4 the price, so they're now 1500 bits instead of 2000. Also, Parrot Pets now increase god pot duration, so this means that god pots will only be 24 hours if you have Alchemy 50, or if you have Alchemy 34 with a level 100 legendary Parrot Pet. So what exactly is the optimal alchemy level for god potions? The issue to finding the answer to this question is that there are just so many factors that can make some alchemy level optimal, but I'll try and narrow things down. Here's the main problem. The time added to the god potion is a linear function, but the alchemy leveling is not. So it'll be more expensive to add hours to your god pot the higher alchemy level you are. Now we're also going to factor out the parrot pet from this, because unless you want to spend 25 million coins for a useful legendary parrot, we're going to ignore they exist. Also, they always scale the god pot duration by a constant value, so our calculation still holds. So I made a spreadsheet documenting pretty much everything about the god pots and alchemy you can find in the description below. I'll be assuming you level up alchemy the normal way, which is by using netherwort and then enchanted cane and then enchanted glowstone for speed 7 pots, then selling them to the NPC. So getting a certain alchemy level will be some price, but then you'll be able to sell the potions to the NPC to get some money back, so that will be our effective price. And skyblock also gives you coins when you level a skill, but that totals like 1.5 mil at level 50, and it follows the same bullshit pattern as skill XP. Obviously, it seems like having 3/4 the hours on a god pot that costs 3/4 the original price should seem about optimal. Getting 18 hours on a god pot will require Alchemy 25, which costs about 2 million coins to get. So if you're going for simple equilibrium, well, there you have it. However, one other factor we have to consider is the amount of coins you spend leveling alchemy versus the amount of hours you get past 12. If you get yourself to Alchemy 13, you will only spend 42,000 coins for an extra 3 hours. So you're only spending 14,000 coins per extra hour you get on the god pot. But you'll definitely be using the god pot more than one time, so in the end, it comes down to how much longer you're going to play the game. If you use very few god pots, then maybe you want the lowest cost per extra hour. However, if you're an endgame player who likes spending time outside of dungeons, maybe you'll look into a higher alchemy level. For Alchemy 50, for example, you'll spend about 36 million coins on the level, and you'll need to use 82 24-hour god potions at 450,000 each, at least that's how much they are in the auction house right now, to break even with just buying 12-hour god pots at Alchemy 0. And that's about 2,000 hours of gameplay where you're actually using your god pot, so that means outside of dungeons. Because of the piecewise scaling of Alchemy XP, you'll need more god pots to break even. That's why Alchemy 50 might not be the greatest idea after all, if you're just going for the extra god pot duration. So the basic conclusion is just this. If you're early game and have about a mil or two in your purse at all times, just spend about 100,000 of that to get yourself to Alchemy 17 for 16-hour god potions, and you'll pay that off in basically one god potion. If you're sort of mid-game and can afford booster cookies and you're doing some slayers or some other grinding and maybe some casual dungeons, then you could spend about 2 to 5 million coins for 18 or 19 hour god pots, so you get them for a good price with an equal duration. The thing is, god pots are only 4/5 the price on the auction house, even though they're 3/4 the price from the bits shop, so depending on your bit multiplier and whatever, you might want to use the auction house over the bits shop or vice versa. Now if you're endgame and sweating dungeons, ideally you wouldn't really care about the god pot duration because your potion effects are paused for the most part, and you can easily afford another god pot if you run out of the 12 hours outside of dungeons that you might take like about a week actually using up. However, a maxed out skill does look really cool, so you might as well dump all your purse on Alchemy 50. I mean, what dungeon sweat you know doesn't have Alchemy 50? Literally they all have Alchemy 50, just buy this shit. It's not actually that expensive. You can make 36 million coins in about 3 hours. Anyways, that's about it. See ya.